So all we do is suspension and brake. We just specialise in that area, so that's the stuff that we look after and that's the stuff that we specialise in.
It's funny, you come to clubs and some clubs don't necessarily have nicknames for their players, or definitely usually not for their coach, but this man's got a nickname. Shane Morwood, welcome to GameFace.
Thanks, Coach. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's an honour to be talking to a real coach, a real footy coach. You've gone to the top of the table. Let's get that out of the way straight away. And some coaches will say, don't get ahead of yourself, keep a lid on it. But I really liked in your speech there at the end of the match, you said you should be proud of yourself, enjoy it, because sometimes the good times in footy are very few and far between.
Well, it can change very quickly in 7 days, as you know. So, look, our last 5 weeks have been awesome. I think we struggled before that. So I think the focus on team pressure and sharing the load has been really good, and we've got the results. We won 4.5 out of the last 5 games. So now we find ourselves on top of the ladder right now because the competition's so tight, it's so close. So Morwood today, they're a really good team. So they played finals for a number of years now. It was always going to be tough, and it was about who was going to withstand the pressure for the longest, really. And I thought we did that in the end, and we did that really well.
And you mentioned that last quarter, because I saw the last half of the game, and it could have gone either way.
Oh, absolutely. It was only, I think it was 4 points or 5 points, whatever the margin was at three-quarter time. So, it was slightly favouring our end in the last quarter, but you could score both ends. So it was about who's going to win the contested footy, which is always about the game. And then we locked it in our forward 50 pretty much for the last quarter. So we had plenty of scoring options. We didn't kick many goals, but it sort of sewed the game up, really.
Oh, you had some standout players. Noodles was obviously one of them. And I asked him, how far can you go? And he did not back off, said, I reckon we can win it.
Well, look, I think we can, but I think there's also probably 3 or 4 other teams that can win it too. And that's just not being the coaches saying, but this competition has been really close. So, for example, we lost to, we played Chod, lost to them, lost to Port Melbourne the next week. And then I think we found ourselves sitting 4th spot, only just in the 5. So, you lose a game in this comp right now and you could drop a couple of spots. Like Cheltenham were on top 2 weeks ago. Now I think they're probably sitting back to 4th now. So it can change really quickly. So I think you got to enjoy the times when you win, because you don't know what's going to happen in 7 days' time. So we've been consistent over the last 5 weeks, and we need to stay consistent.
You sound like a coach. Beautiful. Without picking on anybody in particular as standout players, who impressed you though that you thought, he's getting himself ready for the finals? I can see he's starting to get that right psyche going, because as you know, if players aren't psyched for the finals, doesn't matter how well you play during the year, you could be out in straight sets.
Oh, that's true. I think it's the style of play that you want to implement from a coaching point of view is really important, so they're ready for finals footy. So I think what we've been doing the last few weeks is remnant of finals footy, so that you can create that habit with them, and that mindset just becomes normal for them, so they don't know anything different. So from some of our better players today, I thought Giggsy in the ruck was really influential. So not just in the ruck work, but just around the ground as well. And he fed the likes of, say, Chris Milne, Hodgie as we call him. He was awesome with his pressure. He always is, Hodgie. Thought up forward, Remy Faulkner-Wood, he's only a young kid. He's probably playing maybe about his 20th game. He played well last week, kicked 3 goals today. He's smooth, doesn't waste the footy. Thought he was awesome. Noodles, as you mentioned, he was good all day. Thought the back half was really good. Robbie Russin, we call him Rui. His last quarter was just enormous. So, I thought it was pretty well shared amongst the players, really.
Morph, how much improvement is there in this team?
Oh, there's still more. So we've changed our game a little bit over the last month or so, and I think the guys are adapting to that, and they're seeing the benefit from doing that. So, which means they just rise in confidence, rise in belief, and the more you do that, it's pretty hard. And along with the intensity that they bring and the pressure tackles that they bring to the game, it makes them a pretty good team.
I'll let you go because I know you want to celebrate and enjoy it and probably go over your boards and all your plans and all your structures. Fancy word we always use these days. But the one thing I've got to ask you is that you talk about intensity. What about you? Do you get a chance to relax away from this Monday to Friday in your other life?
No. Well, you don't. I mean, the game's, it's pretty, you consume it, don't you? You sort of eat, sleep and drink it, really. No, I'll be thinking about next week. You start looking at other teams. We've got Oakley Districts next week, so you don't really relax. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm not too bad, although my wife might beg to differ, really. But no, look, yeah, we're in a good spot, so yeah, the destiny's in your own hands. That's the same with every club, really, but we've got a competition in 7 days' time, and if we win that, then we're probably still on top of the ladder. There's still another game to go after that.
What can you do better? You, as in you, the coach. You think?
For me, it's just make sure that the guys stay on, don't drop off. So what I do at training is really important for the final series. So that's, yeah, I'm not sure what other clubs do or other coaches do, but that's what I think about this time of the year, is what I do for them physically and mentally.
Good on you, Morv. Thanks so much for your time. It was a great game to watch, actually. And I have to be honest, I didn't mind the muddy cricket pitch, because this is a beautiful ground, beautiful facility here at Mordialloc. And I didn't mind the cricket pitch because I thought, it's going to be an awful game. But it was a good game. It reminded me of the old days. I don't necessarily like to go back into the old days, but better than the snow last night in Canberra.
That was a classic, wasn't it? How good was that? But I mean, like the AFL players these days, they wouldn't like to play in anything like this today.
No.
But it is. That's a winter game. Play in it, mate. It's okay.
Thanks so much for your time, mate. Good luck for the finals.
Thanks very much, Coach. Good on you.
Get your GameFace on.